Julissa Arce is an immigrant and a former dreamer, and she joins us tonight, I believe, from Los Angeles. Julissa, thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks for having me on again, Tucker.
So, look, there may be things about this plan you don't like. There are definitely things that I don't like about it. But it's hard to see how a plan that gives legalization, amnesty, and a path to citizenship for more than 2 million people here illegally, none of them white, is white supremacy. How does that work?
Well, I think we have to take a step back and look at this from the beginning. The reason why we're in this chaos situation of young people's lives being on the line is because the president rescinded DACA, the program that gave undocumented young people the ability to work and go to school and drive and pay taxes. He ended that program, and that is why we're in this situation. And let's be very clear.
Since you want to do that and spew propaganda. Wait, no, stop. No. No, I'm going to ask you a question.
Monologue, and so now it's my turn to speak.
I don't believe it is. Right? I want to ask you a question about the discussion today, not about the roots of DACA, which I'm happy to debate with you in some other forum. I want to ask about the response today to this proposal released last night, which is that it's white supremacy. And I would like you to tell me if you believe it is, and if so, how.
You would let me.
If you could give me a crisp answer and not filibuster, I'd appreciate it.
Listen. It was Donald Trump who ended the DACA program, and he did so because he wanted to hold hostage and use as bargaining chips the lives of 800,000 undocumented people who have been here their entire lives, who are American in every single way. And now what we're trying to do is to create a second-class citizen. Okay, that's what this program does.
Okay.
It says
so are you
that
not
the
going to
dreamers
answer
can
my
become
question? This is giving people who are here illegally are getting amnesty and a path to citizenship, which is what you've been asking for, and you're calling that white supremacy. None of those people are white, so how is it white supremacy?
But at what price? I'm not calling it white supremacy. I don't think those words have come out of my mouth.
They've come out of the mouth of
I'm not calling it white supremacy
ranking Democrat.
What I am saying is that this plan, what it does is it creates a second-class citizen, because it says that the dreamers can become citizens themselves, but they cannot sponsor their parents. They cannot sponsor their siblings. And those rights are different than the rights that you have. And you just said earlier that this plan, the 2 million people, that none of them are white, which is untrue, because there are undocumented white people. There are 50,000 undocumented Irish people living in New York City.
Sure.
So there are.
You're absolutely right. They're not covered by this. So that's my only point. You're absolutely right. There are definitely undocumented white immigrants.
There are dreamers who are white, Tucker.
Oh, I'm sure there are, but it's an indefinite.
I
absolutely believe you. It's just it's an look. I don't care actually about the race of the dreamers.
You don't have to believe me. It's a fact.
I do believe you. My only point is that what you're seeing today is not an expression of white supremacy, so I wish you and your friends would stop making that point, because it's a lie and it's divisive. That's my only point. And because it's not true, and it makes people hate each other. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It is a plan that makes. It is a plan that would potentially make 2 million people, who are mostly people of color, have less rights than white citizens. So that is racist.
Okay, so it's racist you come in the country illegally, as you did. You have a moral right to let your relatives come too?
Well, first of all, I did not come into the country illegally. Let's get the facts straight. I came to the U.S. on a plane on a tourist visa. So I did not come into this country illegally.
I thought that you overstayed. I'm sorry, I totally misunderstood your bio.
I did overstay my visa, but I did not come into the country illegally.
Oh, you were here illegally. Okay. So I guess that's what I just said. But my point is,
point that you're missing
if you are here illegally,
a 2-year-old cannot break the law. It was their parents who brought them to this country.
The parents who brought them to this country.
Of their own.
Right. So you're saying that the parents who brought them to this country now have a moral right to become citizens also. And I'm wondering where that right comes from.
Listen, if I am now a U.S. citizen, and if I want my mother to be able to come visit me and to be able to come be with me as a United States citizen, I should have that right. You have that right, right? If you had a mother who lived in a different country, you would be able to sponsor her.
So you sneak into the country, you bring your child, that child gets citizenship, and now you have a right to citizenship because you're the one who caused this problem, that parent, in the first place, by bringing your child here illegally, but I have to, as a citizen, give you citizenship? How does that work exactly? No, but why should I be for that?
going back to the point I was making at the beginning of the segment, which
How
is
about
that
you
the
answer my
reason we are
question?
in this situation is because the president ended DACA, and then he tasked Congress
No,
with coming up with a solution
you wanna
to
have
fix
that
the
debate,
DACA
but let's talk
problem.
about
But
look,
now
actually,
we are now
you're not
we're
answering my
saying
question.
that Dreamer Lives should pay
you
for
don't
a
have an
$25 billion
answer. No.
wall.
So you're saying if I sneak into someone else's country and bring my child, and the people of that country are kind enough to give that child citizenship, that I somehow deserve it too? Because why? Why? That's a simple question. Why don't you give me a simple answer?
I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because if these people become United States citizens, as they would under this plan, they should have the rights of as every other American citizen has. Why should this person, if we're making them citizens, why should they have less rights?
Because you came illegally, that's why, and we don't want to reward that behavior.
Then they should have the same rights as every other United States citizen.
Let me ask you really quick. So the ACLU described this as the supposed generosity of giving citizenships to people who are here illegally. Do you think it's generous of the United States to give citizenship to people who came here illegally? Do you think it's generous?
I think that we are trying to talk about two different things. Right?
No, we're trying to talk about. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you think it's
not
generous to give people who are here illegally citizenship?
I don't think that it's generous to separate
don't.
families and create second-class citizens. No, I don't.
I don't know why we
think
would
it's
bring in
generous
people
that
who
families
are
should
not
be
grateful
separated.
for the privilege of being an American citizen. You're definitely in that category, too.
But by the
Julissa,
way,
thank you. Okay, we're out of time. Thanks. Ann Coulter is a columnist and author of Adios America, as well as many other books, and she joins us tonight. Ann, thanks for coming on. So you have a great piece on Lindsey Graham, who won the 2016 Republican nomination, as you know, and as a result of that has a right to impose his immigration views in the country. How did that work?
First, I want to say, boy, Donald Trump is right. These dreamers are fabulous. They're great. They're fantastic. I can't wait for them to be our fellow citizens. And yeah, I mean, I think everybody's wondering, where did Lindsey Graham come from? Who nominated him to be negotiating this? He ran for president. He got literally 0 votes, was the first and most vicious in attacking Donald Trump, the candidate. So how is it that he's the one in this? Why does he have a seat at the table at all on immigration negotiations, much less, you know, he's the leader of what the Republicans stand for? And, you know, as I say in my column, it does make any normal observer think the fix is in. Why are other Republican senators allowing this? If it had been back during the Iraq War, Republicans wouldn't have allowed anti-war Republican Chuck Hagel to go and say, oh, he represents our views on the war. We're going to send him in. No, they'd say, no, not him. Don't talk to him. Why is the media talking to him? Why is the president talking to him? He doesn't represent us. But the donors want the cheap labor. I mean, the one thing, Tucker, that's going to be fun if we lose this is watching all of these short-sighted, idiotic businessmen try to do business in a country run by the likes of Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, that will be amusing, but sad for the rest of us. So, but if there's a deeper question about democracy here. So if the public has been clear in poll after poll about what it wants and what it doesn't want on the question of immigration, and it went to the trouble of electing Donald Trump against all odds and all predictions, just to express that view, and it still can't get what it demonstrably wants in immigration, is it possible for the public to have a say in this?
No, it's amazing. I mean, it is beyond what you just described. I was looking through Nexus transcripts today. The fact that Donald Trump is president, it was utterly implausible. It's like a Hollywood movie. And this isn't the first time. I mean, you keep hearing these phony polls being cited by the media showing that Americans love dreamers. They love them, just like that one you interviewed. Who couldn't love her? They love them. But every time they have an actual ballot, every time for 20 years now, they will vote against bail for illegals, against government services for illegals. They'll vote for Donald Trump. They'll vote for English as the national language when they're this Harvard poll that just came out shows more Americans would like zero immigration than our current immigration policy. But the way they pull off these phony polls is by, I mean, I didn't need to read Saul Alinsky to know that this is not a good way to take a poll. They personalize it. They say, oh, do you want to deport Juanita the maid? They make it about a specific person. No, I want questions like, do you want more or less immigration? Do you think people who break the law should be able to become citizens and start collecting welfare right away? Do you think we should be dumping millions of low-wage workers on the country, which is going to come back? I mean, Trump may think he is a genius, and in some ways he is. He has an uncanny sense for what are popular issues. That's why he won. He may be able to roll over the never-Trumpers, but if he continues down this line, former Trumpers is going to be a much more difficult category for him.
You just think in a democracy, you can't ignore what people want forever, or else you're going to get a pretty bad backlash, I think. And thank you for coming on. I appreciate that.
Thank you.